Social media influencer Ashlee Jenae was found dead while on a trip with her fiancé in Tanzania. And even though authorities say that this is a suicide, the circumstances surrounding her death are suspicious, and now her family wants answers. Welcome to Criminal Motives. My name is Matthew Pfeiffer. I'm a therapist who analyzes the behavior behind high-profile true crime cases. If that's the type of content that you enjoy, be sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. With that being said, let's watch this next video together, and I'll give you my thoughts and reactions after.
Alicia, well, Ashlee Robinson, she actually was raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death in Zanzibar is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware who say they aren't getting answers from her fiancé or officials in Tanzania about what happened to her.
Uncertainty, mystery, anger, sadness. It's like a part of me has been taken away.
On April 5th, influencer Ashlee Robinson, who goes by Ashlee Jenae on social media, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before.
We believe that they were in love. We believe that their relationship was genuine.
Ashlee's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week later, her daughter would be dead. On April 8th, she says Ashlee called, saying she and her fiancé got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiancé.
He told me that Ashlee did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury hotel the couple was staying at called saying Ashlee passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashlee had an unidentified mark around her neck. They wrote, quote, according to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door with several question marks.
Sometime Jill went back to the room with security, and that's how they found her.
Ashlee was also taken to a second hospital who listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation.
She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
She was not just going to be discarded and forgotten about.
All right, welcome back. So obviously a really sad situation, and it sounds like the family is just not only devastated, but also blindsided, especially on the heels of a proposal, and you are expecting on planning a wedding, and then you are hit with the news that she is no longer with us. And so I can't imagine the highs and then the lows that her family has experienced. The authorities have declared this death a suicide. Is it possible that this is a suicide? It's possible. I don't think so, but it is possible. Let me tell you the reasons why it's possible, then I'm going to tell you what I believe happened and is happening. So one of the things that is said and is oftentimes said around the thoughts of suicide is this person was the happiest they've ever been, the happiest time of their life, and those sorts of things. And people assume that people would not commit suicide in those type of circumstances. And that's just not true. It is possible for people to go on a trip and commit suicide then. I did a video about a mother who committed a murder-suicide in a very similar situation. I kind of broke it down there as well. For people to be struggling with depression and for them to get into a circumstance where they finally have the energy to execute something that they've been contemplating on for a period of time, and for them to go out on top, and I say that very loosely, and I should have given a trigger warning for suicidal ideations. But that being said, it is possible that someone can go on a trip, be proposed to, have all these exhilarating feelings, and be on the top, feeling like they're on top of the world, and for them to take their own life. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Happens. And but with that being said, I don't believe that that's what happened. I do believe that more than likely that this is a murder case that either investigators have not investigated thoroughly, or the fiancé has some sort of connections internal with officials over there in Tanzania. It might be that would be the reason why he went there. But more than likely, I believe that this is a crime of passion type of thing. For those of you who follow me for a while, you know that I'd say that there's always the big three: sex, drugs, and money are the big three when it comes to murder situations, murder cases. And in this situation, it sounds like, so not only did they get into a fight and get into an argument the night before or the night of that this happened, but for them to argue to a point where the hotel had to separate them, that's bad. We're talking about more likely a domestic dispute. It's really difficult for me to believe that that would be the very first dispute that they had ever had. And if this were a dispute, and if this is an ongoing situation where there was consistent domestic violence. Now, I also want to say that the fiancé, from what I understand, from what I gather, comes from is extremely wealthy. The reason why I bring all this up is that if there were situations and circumstances that there were signs of domestic violence or that there were domestic violence through the year that they were dating, there could have been a lot of pressure for her to stay because of financial reasons, for her to be able to live a certain type of life, especially as a social media influencer. That being said, let's move over to the Tanzania situation. So now they're in Tanzania and they get into an argument, they get into a fight. Let's assume there was a domestic dispute because they had to be separated. If there were threats of her saying that she was going to leave when they got back, or leave, or she was done, or she was going to end the engagement and those sorts of things, in domestic violence situations, those circumstances oftentimes, especially when people are on vacation, can escalate to a point where they get to something like this. People who have been in domestic violence situations will tell you that some of the worst fights that they have ever experienced oftentimes happen while they were on trips, while they were in cars, oftentimes when the victim can't leave, they can't go anywhere. So the circumstances surrounding this, for me, from my experience with working with domestic violence victims for well over a decade at this point, to me, really smells fishy. Now, did he do a really good job of setting it up to make it seem like it was a suicide? I don't know. Was this really actually suicide? And there's just those circumstances are just kind of coincidental? Possibly. I seriously doubt it. But it is possible. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I believe that there's something fishy going on. I hope that they get an independent investigator over there, or something to see like what's either really going on, or confirm that this really is what it is and people just are struggling to accept it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think that this was a possible suicide, or do you think that there's something else going on and we're looking at a possible murder? And hopefully, if it is murder, that he's not going to get away. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications so you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. I upload new videos on this channel multiple times per day, and then I give kind of like a longer video every single Friday. That's kind of a new rhythm that I have for those of you who've been watching my channel for a little while. I am going to be, so the podcast that I put out every Friday is going to be more of storytelling. I've been trying to get into more storytelling when it comes to true crime for some time, but I also didn't want to take away from some of the other things that I do in terms of giving analysis to different cases, because I know that a lot of you really enjoy the psychological part of it as well. So I feel like this will kind of give us a good balance of both worlds. But let me know your thoughts, and let me know what you would like to see from this channel, because I am fairly new to true crime in terms of being a creator, and so I am open to thoughts and open to ideas. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. You guys have a good one.